I think it's 4:20. It's time. It's time for a beverage because it's hot today. What are y'all drinking? What are you drinking? I'm having a beer. I'm having a beer just to mellow me out a little bit because I've had kind of a crazy day. So do y'all want to hear my story? Thumbs up. The very first thing that I want to do, in case you didn't catch on Facebook, another one of Linda's iris came out. And so I want to show y'all the other one of Linda's iris. Look at it. It's so different. Isn't that gorgeous? And then, of course, this one here. Smells so good. Ooh, smells fantastic. Okay, so as y'all know, I've been working on these stepping stones of my mother's, and I had put them in flush to the ground because I wanted to get a wheelbarrow over them. And then I was talking to Eric the other day, and he said that he had always thought about having ground cover and mossy stuff growing around stepping stones out here in the greenhouse area. So I said, so I'm trying to sleep the other night, and I said, you know, if I'm going to put, so then yesterday at Greenleaf, then of course I got a whole flat of ground cover. So I'm trying to sleep last night, and I was thinking, if I go ahead and I put the ground cover down around the stepping stones, then I'm going to have to always cut it with a knife, you know, to keep it off the stepping stones, because that stuff is vigorous growing. So I thought, well, maybe I should lift the stepping stones out of the dirt a little bit so that I don't have to, you know, and I had already planted more than half of them. So that made me just a tiny bit cranky to think about having to redo it. However, I want it to be done, you know, appropriately. I mean, I'm not a good enough kind of a gal, you know. And so I decide, while I'm trying to sleep, I decide, okay, I'll dig them all up, I'll raise them, you know, I'll raise them up out of the dirt, and then I'll put cardboard around it, because that's what I do for weeds, is I don't want weeds growing up through my brand new soil. And then I'll put down fresh, beautiful, rich soil that I get in my broken bags, and then I'll put the ground cover down. So I came out here this morning, and because I thought there's no better time than just to come out bright and early this morning, right? So I came out this morning, and I had to dig up all my stepping stones and replant them. So I'm all the way down, and I want to show y'all how much I got done. So now my next step is going to be, I think I'm going to put a little bit more, I'll show you. Put a little bit more, but I have to have another drink. What are y'all drinking? What are you drinking for happy hour? Oh, that's delicious. See, Corona, not related to the coronavirus. Corona beer doesn't have any gluten in it. So I swizzle that down. No gluten in the Corona beer. Yay! Okay, so it's still really bright out here. So here's my stepping stones. So for those of you that realize they're not exactly lined up, that they're crooked, there is a pill for that. Because they're not perfect, and I like it like that. I'm not really that. Donnie had to teach me how to use a level, because I didn't really know what a level, I knew what a level was. I just didn't feel the benefit of having things level until I started doing this wall. Because see this, all this wall back here, I've done all this, I did all this. So Donnie had to teach me what level was, because I didn't know. Really, it didn't matter to me if it was level or not. So Donnie said, it has to be level if you're going to start putting in walls and stuff. So now I know how to level things. So I'm pretty tricky with a level. However, lining things up is not my forte. So there's the stepping stones. Now I think I'm going to just spread a little bit more dirt, you know, in there. Put my cardboard down, put my black soil down, and then I'm going to put my fantastic ground cover down. Okay, so here's something else that I need y'all's help with. Now, I don't know what these red dots are on my tree. Let me show you. Okay, you guys see that red dot? This is a willow tree. It's growing in our pond, and I have these red dots. So if anybody knows what the red dots are, please let me know. Look, they're kind of on both sides. Rotate your device. You can't turn it on the side. Okay, so that's my question for y'all, is what are the red dots? Now, who wants to see the koi eat? You guys want to see the koi? Because they didn't get their 3 o'clock feeding, so let's see if they'll come out. And I'm going to have a sip of beer while we see. They're really shy. For whatever reason, they're super shy. See, they're not going to come out because they hear me talking. But we count about 200 big ones, and there's got to be, there's one. Between the ones we can't see, we probably have at least 500 in the pond right now. By the end of the season, we'll have about 1,000. And then the frogs come and help us with them. So we're starting to get some hits. There they are. Hungry. Hungry koi. We went to our friends, Kenny did, up in Sunny Valley. And he grabbed a whole bunch of her koi and brought them down and put in our pond. And I actually think we have some goldfish too. I'm not really sure. I'm not positive because I'm not a fish expert. But we have bought thousands of dollars worth of koi and dropped in here. Oh look, Crazy came for the visit. We can always count on Crazy coming for the live video at happy hour. There, we're starting to get some action now. But they're a little bit weird. When other people are here, they don't come out at all. They're just strange. But there's hundreds of them in there. It's totally zen for me to be back here and see the koi. And I just love to sit here with a beer in the afternoon and watch them. Isn't that cool? Hey, baby. They're pretty cool. My favorite ones are the butterfly tails. Have y'all seen those? I've got a butterfly tail in there, and I hope that it's a female, which I don't know how to sex fish either. Y'all probably know way more about that than I do. The only thing that I know is that right along the edge of our pond, here in the next couple of weeks, we'll have 1,000 little teeny tiny fry lined up that they give koi or live birth. So what they do is we see them, oh look, here's our big one. Let me show you that one. Did you see him? He's about, that big one that you just saw come up, he's got speckledy things on his head, he's got big yellow splotches down his back, and he's about 18 inches long. So he's a pretty spectacular koi. We got him at the Frog Prince pawn shop there in Grants Pass. We love going there. That pawn shop is the coolest thing ever. Our koi. We love those people there. And so anyway, we'll have at least 1,000 fry in the pond here in the next couple of weeks. And so what the koi do is they rub up against the plants. And we see them 2 by 2 the last week or so rubbing up against the plants. And they're just the cutest things ever, you know, making babies. And so we'll have quite a bit of activity. And I would say we probably have a 10 to 20% success rate for the fry, you know, that make it from year to year. So our pond, the population does continue to grow, which is awesome because we have plenty of gallons. We have about 15,000 gallons in the pond. Kenny dug it. Kenny started it. Kenny started it and on a Friday, and then came up to the house and said, hey, I need help digging the pond. And so Kenny and Donnie and Eric and I ended up over the next day and a half digging the rest of it. And then we got all the filtration in and put the liner in and got all the Libby. Did I say that? We went up to Libby's house and got the koi, and we probably have goldfish in there too. I have no idea. And so then this is how it's evolved. It's evolved to have this fantastic edge, you know, the ledge along the back. And Donnie and I, we tag teamed that, worked real hard on that. We have a fake blue heron, and then all of this, you know, this plastic fencing for, I don't even know how to describe it. But this plastic stuff that I had to put up is because we had a blue heron, and he had a 7-foot wingspan, and he would fly in here and he would lurk about on the edge of the pond and just pluck out fish. Well, fortunately, they sleep in the bottom. They hibernate to the bottom of the pond all winter, and so he didn't get much of a meal before we read up on the internet how to get rid of the blue heron. And so we put out a fake blue heron. I put up this stuff. I have to have a drink, sorry. My cold beer calls my name because it is happy hour. So the cool thing, it's really deep down there at that end. The deep end is, I think, 7 or 8 feet. And so the koi actually sleep on the bottom of the pond all winter. And then when the nights are about 50 and the water has to get up to about 50, then the fish start coming up. They start hitting, and then I give them wheat germ, and then I move them into the koi food. Well, this time of year, I'm so busy. Look at my automatic koi food feeder thinger up there. Isn't that cool? So it has a little rotating device in there that sends the food out, and several times a day, I have a cup or so that drops into the water. Fish are a lot like dolphins. They love to jump. These, the koi are, they jump right out of the water for the food. They jump over each other. They do backflips. They're hilarious. I'm actually considering putting motion cameras down here so that I can be in the kitchen and watch them jump out of the water, just like dolphins. They're hilarious. So they have quite personality. They're all have their own individual thing. They're super cool. We totally dig the koi. It's evolved into a whole family affair for us back here, and I feel like my mom, you know, having her stepping stones back here. I just think that's a natural progression. Isn't that cool? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this, see if I can summon the energy, and that probably won't happen now that I'm drinking this beer. However, I do have mind over matter because I'm motivated to get the job done so I can move on to the next fabulous job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask y'all to post in the comments what it is that your happy hour beverage is today. That would be super cool. And tell me what you do at your house. I want to hear about what you do at your house. You know what my addictions are: flowers, koi. I'm pretty much addicted to really cool things. I fall in love with a lot of things. So let me know what you're in love with. Remember, for this life, it's important to fall in love with as many things as possible. So let me know what you're in love with. Let me know what you're drinking. Happy hour, happy day. And I hope you've made it a great day so far. You're going to have an incredible evening. I love you guys so much. And let me hear from you. Bye. Love you. Finish.